Are you really prepared to live the life that you have always wanted to live? This is a question I've been asking myself for the past few months because if I'm being very transparent, I don't think really myself or really anybody can really understand what comes with trying to live the life at the highest version of yourself. I'm talking about the version of you that makes the most money, that's in the best shape, that is just the most well put together character that you can possibly think of. It sounds cool on paper to think about what that looks like, but actually going for it and even worse, maintaining it, it's a lot harder than I think a lot of people tend to think. When I first started posting content almost 2 years ago, I posted pretty much whatever I wanted and whenever I wanted. I didn't really take the idea of a strategy or a consistent schedule in mind because I thought I didn't really need to have those things. I thought as long as I posted, one of the videos I post would randomly blow up. So once that obviously didn't work and I actually tried to follow a routine and a schedule that allowed me to create content on a consistent basis, I quickly began to question how much I really wanted to do it. Because posting content was fun when I felt like posting. If I felt like making a video, I posted right there and then. If I didn't feel like making it, I didn't post. And the result of that was not only the lackluster following that I have now due to me not being consistent, but also me beginning to question if creating content full time would even be something I wanted to do or even at the very most could even achieve. And the reason I feel like this ties to living your dream life is because a lot of people claim that they want to have a lot of different things, right? They want to make a lot of money, they want to be in the gym, they want to get in good shape, they want to do all these different things. But when you have to consistently do these things, show up when you don't feel like it, have days where you do just enough to say that you were in there and hit those goals that you claimed that you wanted to hit so bad, and then maintain everything you just worked for, that really begins to question how bad do you want this? Not even so much in so like a motivational sense, but really just as a lifestyle. Like when you are no longer being motivated by getting in really good shape and making good money because you already did it, what's the motivator now? What's going to keep you going to continue this lifestyle? Because maybe it's the aspect of the lifestyle that you wanted, not really actually living it. The amount of times I used to fantasize of being a full-time content creator where making videos was the only thing I ever had to do to pay my bills and function through life is a lot more than I can count. But when I actually sat down to go make the content to even make that possible, I realized very quickly that not only is this a lot harder than people make it out to be, but it also is something that I'd have to keep doing even on those days where I don't feel like it. I think when I sit down and I really think about that idea of like a dream life and what it would look like to go after it, I think I quickly consider and also begin to realize that not only is this a long process that a lot of people probably won't fully commit to, I think I began to realize that majority of the time that I spent trying to achieve that goal was gone about a very inconsistent way. Like I thought that I can just post content and blow up. I thought I can just go to the gym, lift a few weights, and that'd be it, right? I didn't consider constantly improving every video I made. I didn't consider tracking my nutrition, making sure I got good sleep and recovery. I didn't consider the real work that goes into living that life that you want to live because you see it through the lens of people that have already made it and you don't consider all the little stuff they had to do in the dark and in the background to get to where they're at now. And now that you're having to do that yourself, you quickly realize like, man, do I really want this? Like, do I really want to wake up every morning and have to continuously work out when I don't feel like it? My body's in pain from the previous day that I worked out, or I just had a bad day at work. Do I feel like coming home and making a video? Like, do I really feel like doing this forever? It's those questions and that kind of mental framework that allows you to understand that this really is something that you have to be mentally prepared for if you really want this. And I myself, like I said before, had to tell myself a lot of times, like, yo, do you really want this? Like, yes, this is cool now because there isn't a lot of life that's getting in the way. But when life starts really picking up and you got to really sit there and continue to work on this in the background, how likely are you willing to do that? And if you are willing to do that, for how long? So if you've made it to this point in the video, there's a high chance that you are someone who wants to live a very successful life. You want to make a lot of money, you want to do a lot of different things, you want to pursue greater things than yourself. If that's the case, I need you to understand that it is possible. Okay, there isn't, I know I just talked about like, oh, it's a lot harder than you think, or it's definitely not as easy as it may seem, but it really is possible. It is, right? It just requires consistent effort over an extended period of time and doing what you need to do to get there. But a lot of people overcomplicate it or underestimate it, and then they realize what really comes with it, and they immediately realize that maybe I shouldn't be doing this in the first place. Maybe I'll take a chill. Maybe I won't do all these great things that I said I was going to do. But if you still feel like it's worth doing and you want to see yourself in certain rooms and at a higher level, then do not be afraid to embrace what comes with it. All the pain, all of the suffering, all the moments of doubt and uncertainty. Do not be scared to embrace all of that. I know it can be really hard. I can already imagine, as someone who's actively living that life right now, who is on the journey of becoming exactly what I just talked about. It's not easy, but it is worth it and it is possible. And if you just keep pushing it and you keep putting in the inputs, you will get there.